Ambassador Zixathala's crystalline form shimmered with disbelief as she stared at the holographic display, hovering above the council chamber's central dais. The image showed what had once been the most feared region on the planet Kepler 442b, the scorching wastes, a desert so hostile that even the galaxy's most resilient species had classified it as absolutely uninhabitable. Now, gleaming spires of metal and glass rose from the golden dunes, their surfaces reflecting the twin suns' merciless light. Hover vehicles traced neat paths between towering structures, while green patches of vegetation dotted the landscape in impossible geometric patterns. This cannot be accurate. Zixathala's translator device rendered her harmonic frequencies into standard galactic common. Our atmospheric processors failed within hours in those conditions. The Thrakari mining expedition lost 3 entire crews to the heat storms alone. Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Colonial Survey smiled, her sun-weathered face crinkling at the corners. "Ambassador, I'd like you to meet Dr. Elena Vasquez, Chief Architect of New Phoenix." She gestured to a woman whose dark skin bore the telltale bronze tint of someone who'd spent years under Kepler 442b's dual star system. Dr. Vasquez stepped forward, her movements confident despite the chamber's oppressive gravity, another impossible condition humans had somehow adapted to. "Ambassador Zixathala, when your people first warned us about the scorching wastes, we took your concerns seriously. Very seriously." The Veltran ambassador's 4 eyes focused intently on the human. In her 70-year diplomatic career, she'd never encountered a species quite like these peculiar bipeds. They'd arrived in the galaxy barely 50 years ago, yet had already colonized 17 worlds that other species had deemed uninhabitable. "Then how do you explain this?" Zixathala's limbs gestured at the hologram, where the city continued to thrive in conditions that should have killed every living thing within hours. Dr. Vasquez exchanged a glance with Captain Chen. "We studied your failures first. The Thrakari tried to fight the desert with technology, climate-controlled domes, atmospheric processors, massive cooling systems. When those failed, they assumed the desert was unconquerable." "It should have been," interjected Counselor Brekmar of the Silicon Hegemony. His metallic voice carried undertones of genuine confusion. "Surface temperatures exceed 80 degrees Celsius during the day. At night they plummet to -40. The sandstorms carry particles that can strip flesh from bone and corrode our strongest alloys." "Exactly," Dr. Vasquez nodded. "So we didn't fight it. We learned from it." She activated her own projection device, and the council chamber filled with images of early human settlement attempts. Instead of the gleaming city, they saw crude structures half buried in sand, their surfaces rough and organic-looking. The first lesson came from studying Earth's desert peoples, the Bedouins, the Aboriginal Australians, the Berbers. For thousands of years, humans survived in some of the harshest environments on our homeworld, not by conquering them, but by understanding them. The images shifted, showing humans in flowing robes moving through the desert during the cooler dawn hours, their settlements designed to channel wind and maximize shade. "The second lesson came from the desert itself," Dr. Vasquez continued. "We found a species of crystalline organism native to Kepler 442b, something your surveys had dismissed as mineral formations. These organisms had evolved to store water during the brief seasonal rains and release it slowly throughout the year." Ambassador Zixathala's form flickered with what her species considered embarrassment. The Veltran surveys had indeed classified those formations as geological features. "We didn't try to eliminate these organisms," Dr. Vasquez explained. "We partnered with them. Our building's foundations are living symbiotic structures. The crystal organisms filter and store water from the atmosphere during the humid pre-dawn hours, then release it as cooling vapor during the day's heat." Captain Chen picked up the explanation. But the real breakthrough came from understanding human physiology. Most species in the galaxy evolved on worlds with stable climates. Humans evolved on a planet where climate was our greatest enemy. Ice ages, volcanic winters, global floods. Earth tried to kill us for millions of years. "Your point being?" Counselor Brekmar's voice carried a hint of impatience. "Our point," Dr. Vasquez said with a smile, "is that extreme adaptation is what humans do best. Our colonists don't just tolerate the temperature swings. Their modified circulatory systems actually benefit from them. The daily thermal cycle helps regulate their enhanced metabolism." The hologram shifted again, now showing the interior of New Phoenix. Humans moved through the streets wearing minimal clothing, their skin gleaming with a faint sheen that reflected heat. Children played in fountains that seemed to appear and disappear with the temperature cycles. The heat storms that destroyed your equipment? Dr. Vasquez continued. We harvest them. Our collection arrays capture the electrical energy and channel it into the city's power grid. A single storm can power New Phoenix for weeks. Ambassador Zixthala's form had shifted to a deep purple, the Veltron equivalent of profound contemplation. You're telling us that you've turned every aspect of this hostile environment into an advantage? Not just us, Captain Chen corrected. New Phoenix now houses 12 different species. The aquatic Mirhai love the underground thermal pools. The silicon-based Kethmori find the mineral-rich sandstorms nutritious. Even a small Velteron community has established itself in the deep cavern systems where temperatures remain constant. Dr. Vasquez nodded enthusiastically. That's the real secret, Ambassador. Humans don't just adapt. We adapt everything around us to create new possibilities. The desert isn't our enemy anymore. It's our partner. The council chamber fell silent except for the soft harmonics of various species' breathing apparatus. Finally, Ambassador Zixthala spoke, her voice carrying newfound respect. When humans first applied for colonial rights to Kepler 442b, the Galactic Council voted to grant you only the useless territories. We thought we were being generous, giving you land that would never be worth anything. Captain Chen's smile grew wider. Ambassador, in 6 months, New Phoenix will be the planet's largest city. We're already receiving requests from 17 different species who want to establish their own impossible colonies in other hostile regions. As the hologram faded, the assembled aliens contemplated a universe suddenly full of new possibilities. Where they had seen only obstacles, humans had found opportunities. Where they had accepted limitations, humans had created solutions. The scorching wastes were no longer scorching or waste. They were home, and across the galaxy, other impossible worlds waited for the species that had made impossibility their specialty.